I'm Molly,
And I'm Richie.
and this is Cold and Unseen Podcast. So, what is this place?
Okay. So the Bridgewater Triangle is a 200 square mile paranormal hotspot. And this covers parts of Bridgewater, Massachusetts, Taunton, Easton, Norton, Rainham, Freetown, and some surrounding areas, including my hometown of Fall River, Massachusetts.
Okay.
Um, so there's so much stuff that has been alleged here. Aliens being one of them. Of course, it always comes back to aliens. People have been
Okay.
saying, I don't even know what a puckwudgie is, but that's one of the claims. As I'd have to look that up, so you're going to give me a minute on that. But Bigfoot, ghosts, shadow people, giant snakes,
Bigfoot. Okay.
thunderbirds, satanic cult stories, which that's a huge one, and those are true. There was a
I
lot
mean,
of
I
murders in the 70s and things like that, I believe, or the early 80s. We'll get to that in a second. Let me see.
we'll get to that.
What's
And what is this place called? This what triangle?
the Bridgewater Triangle?
Bridgewater Triangle. Okay.
A part of this, the Fall River cult murders. So between 1979 and 1980, there were satanic cult murders connected to Fall River, to my area.
Oh,
And of course,
okay.
my little daddy bat wants to come out and play. There was three victims during this time: a Doreen Levesque, who was 17, Barbara Raposo, who was 19, and Karen Marston, who was 20. Um, all disappeared. Their bodies were found in or around the woods in Fall River. There were multiple people convicted of those murders, and it turns out that after, while police were investigating another local murder, they came forward. People came forward claimed they had witnessed satanic cult activity in Freetown State Forest. Those claims later became part of lore around the forest. Um, in 1987, a transient man was murdered in Freetown State Forest after reportedly being mistaken for an undercover police officer. Um, there's a lot.
Okay.
So I know for me, there's I've been into like the Freetown State Forest before. Some of it
Hmm.
connects in Fall River, like you can go through the woods in Fall River all the way, through the reservations, and end up in Freetown. There's a place off of the trail that I've been
Hmm.
before, and we went, and it's just very heavily treed, but like you fight your way through, and then it comes out into an opening that is a
Okay.
perfect circle opening, okay? And in the middle of it is a structure that's like literally just put together by branches that were like broken off trees or whatever, like just all like natural wood stuff. And they like made this like very circle type thing. And in the middle of it is a stone that's like protruding from the ground, and it's like a little altar. And I saw this with my own two eyes. And I
Okay.
was so freaked out. There was stuff on the altar. My friends were like trying to take it, and I was like, leave it. Don't even
No,
touch
leave
that stuff.
it.
That's weird.
Leave
And
it.
it made me wonder if this was like part of, if this was something witchy, because it didn't feel just normal witchy. It felt weird. Like
Right.
that whole place,
Felt
that's a
dark.
place that I can say, like, just something felt off. I didn't feel like any spirits or anything there, but just something felt off. I was like, something's not right here. Like, this just,
Uh-huh.
I was like, do not touch whatever that is. That's freaking me out. I just want to go. Like, I didn't
Yeah.
exactly feel unwelcome or anything. I just didn't want to be there. And so
Right.
maybe, that's was my body's way of like, get the
Um.
fuck out of here. But because I just didn't feel right. Something was totally off about it. And that's in this Bridgewater Triangle. There's been so many reports over the years. Like I kid you not, the Bridgewater Triangle is one of the freakiest things. Um,
So were the murders and such like because were they because they happened inside or were they like things that happened like people who were inside left or what was the reasoning behind that? What's the reasoning behind
so
this
for whatever reason, there really was a satanic cult in these woods. There there's been a lot of like crazy things, like people hearing chanting in the woods at night, even to this day. That's a thing that allegedly still happens. Police are like, after a certain time, police kind of tell you to get lost if you're in there because it is open to the public. But after a certain time, they're like, "What are you even doing here? Why do you need to be here? Like, get going." Like they have
Oh,
environmental police. running through there at all times.
Okay.
So they're very, very weird. There are certain parts of the forest that have like red signs on trees, like saying "Do not go past this part."
Oh.
Like, and they're like right off of trails. And one of the places that was is one of these was that's one of the spots that said you can't go past this spot. And we did because we were curious, and then we found this weird place. So it's like,
Right.
why are they stopping people from going to these specific places? Who will ever know? But there's still to this day like people like hear chanting at night, um, like weird like screaming sounds, and like people saying that it's coyotes, but like there are like actual
You know
recordings
the
of people, and they're
difference.
like that is not a coyote.
Yeah, you know the
Um,
difference.
it's insane. I'm looking at other reports from Bridgewater.
See, this is the thing I don't get. Is like it's like Dudleytown. The places where like police and where there's signs and all this stuff in an area where it's like unless it's on private property, like where someone actually lives or owns, why if it's like on public there's public ground, why it's like no, don't go, no, don't go over here, don't go this way. If you and that it's like because there's some people who don't believe it, that aren't going to believe that it's true. Like some people would walk up to that thing and not think anything of it. But then there's these signs and it's I just confuses me when it's so publicly like everyone needs to stay away.
So,
It's crazy.
so this is going to bring out a little bit more. So another thing from the forest, before I mentioned the pukwudgie, I wanted to come back to that people have reported seeing pukwudgie. So what a pukwudgie is, it's according to Wampanoag folklore, which the original settlers of this area were the
Okay.
Wampanoag people.
Hmm.
The Wampanoag folklore, a pukwudgie is a small humanoid creature, usually 3 to 4 feet tall.
Okay.
Descriptions often include gray or pale skin, large ears, human-like face, long fingers, short, stocky body. So I'm just imagining leprechaun.
I was just gonna say, so it's a leprechaun?
Like it's basically how it sounds. So in some legends, pukwudgies originally got along with humans, then something changed, and the stories say they
We
became
treated them
hostile.
wrong. I mean, that's what all
Probably.
the folklore kind of it kind of also says is we always treated the leprechauns badly, and then I mean, how do we get all the freaking horror movies about
Stop, stop
leprechauns?
it. Sorry, these dogs are real me nuts.
You're fine.
Um, so they play dangerous tricks on people. They
Yep.
lead people into the woods. They throw rocks, which so this is crazy to me. I will tell you something that I always just assume it's like rats or
They cheat you from your
like
coins.
just things running through. But have you ever been in the woods and it just sounds like there's like a random like thump? Um,
Hmm.
for I've hundreds of times I have been in the
Is one of
reservation. So
those throwing a rock?
yeah, I will say on this podcast, I when I was younger, I used to
What
go
did
in
you
there
do?
just to smoke with my friends. Like, so we used to
Oh,
go on blunt rides back and forth in the reservations because on the road trail, and
yeah.
like my friend and I used to put the top down, and like I would like sit on the back like Princess freaking Diana and like be smoking and hand me. It was ridiculous, but there was something that always like in even in the quiet of the woods, there would just be that random like snap of leaves in the distance, like or something. And now that I'm
Yep.
thinking about that very specific sound, I would just figure an animal. But throwing rocks is one of the descriptions of one of these things. Following travelers, which like one time my friend like we were there at night. We were crazy because now I would never do anything like that. I'm a grown adult. I don't know why I was so much fearless back then.
Right?
But we
Why?
used to go
Why?
there with the top down at nighttime
Why did we do so much stupid
asking to
shit?
be murdered if you ask me. But
Oh my
she
God.
claims that she saw something in her like rear view and that it was coming fast, and she just because she started driving super fast, And I'm like, what is your problem? I'm like looking, and she's like trying to put the top up at the same time, and the top's like not really going up because the wind is blowing. So she had to stop to put the top up. And I'm like, why? Like, you're not telling me what's going on. And she swears she saw something, but it wasn't, she didn't describe that as a short, stocky thing. But she
Right.
said she saw something running towards her and like almost like it was an animal. So I was like, oh man, like a wolf or something. And I always assumed that, but now I'm like reading these, I'm like, oh my God, that is so sus. But we've had scary moments in those woods before.
That's
At night, witnesses describe glowing eyes, either red, orange, or yellow.
your dog just scared the hell out of me because of this.
Because this is so menacing to even talk about it. People report hearing rocks strike nearby trees, small stones landing near them, objects seemingly thrown from the woods. Yet nobody's there. These are normal. They do mimic sounds.
Oh, I hate that. I hate that so much. I hate the mimic. I hate it. I hate it.
It's
Oh
super
my God,
scary.
that's the one thing. Oh my God. Okay. Have you ever had anything like that happen to you before?
No, but like when I tell you, I get goosebumps from those kinds of videos.
So I have never had like the banging on the door or anything like that, but I had it happen one time where I was on the couch and I was sleeping and I literally heard my husband's voice say, "Hey," like he was calling at me and he was like right behind me, like he needed help with something. And he said, "Hey" to me, and I like sat up and he was not there. And he was like in the bathroom. It happened two different times. One time, that was one time, and he was like in the bathroom, which was he was like in our bedroom bathroom, which is across the apartment from where I was.
Oh no.
And another time it happened, I sat up in kind of a panic because I heard him say my name. And I thought he had overslept for work. He was at work. He was not in the house at all. And I heard him say my name. And it was his voice.
Ooh, that is freaky.
Oh wait, there was one other. Anyway, I hate those things. I hate them. I hate them. I hate them.
The
No,
shadow
they're
people is another one. Jesus. Some of these things are absolutely insane.
no, I hate that. Like that's the one thing that will terrify me every time because there was the last time I remember I was sitting in my office and my door was closed and it the way the layout of the apartment was there's the living room and then there was the long hallway and my office sat right in the middle of the hallway and then our bedroom was at the end of the hallway. So I could hear him walking down the hallway. Like I could hear him past the office. He was in the living room, I was in the office. I heard him walk past the office and then heard him walk back to the living room and he was like watching a movie in the living room. He had been taking a nap. And then I heard him walk back to the door and then walk back to the living room. And then I heard him say, "Hey," like he wanted something. And I waited. And if I don't like answer to him right away, he'll like walk back to the office and like come and talk to me. So I waited for a minute. He didn't come talk to me. So I stood up and I walked out to the living room. I was like, "What did you need?" He's like, "What are you talking about?"
Oh,
I was
hell
like,
nah.
like you did you not just call and say hey to me? And he's like, "No." Like, have you done anything? He had been laying on the couch the entire time. He did not get up and move once.
So he didn't even walk back and forth.
He didn't walk past the door one time. He had been laying on the couch the entire time.
That, what's that? No wonder you came up with the Crypt of Lost Souls. Like, literally, no, this is all making sense to me now. Oh my goodness. Um, there's also a lot of poltergeist stories
From this
involving
triangle,
in this triangle. Yeah, this triangle, like I, you're gonna need to do a deep dive after this
I'm
and
going to need to
go
because
down the
this is the
rabbit hole.
first
There,
time. I don't know how I've never heard of this. Maybe I
it's
have
insane.
and I just blocked it out. I don't know.
Um, I know somebody who lives like in like off like on one of the streets of the reservation, like right as soon as you get out of it, but it's so technically their house still falls within the triangle. And this kid changed so much. I don't want to say his name, but he changed so much from like he's my age and we grew up like kind of together. But he just
Hmm.
became like a very big weirdo. But I used to see him like walking home all the time and like while me and my friends were driving back and forth, like in there, his house is
Uh-huh.
like literally right at the end, kind of where we would turn around
Hmm.
and go back and go the other way. And we would see him like walking, talking to himself, and he was like standing facing the woods once, and his like family was all like really nutty. So like we always looked at him as like just the weird nutty Dan, like weirdo.
There
But
he goes again.
in hindsight, like what if they
Oh,
were like being like played like by something or like he just definitely he changed a
that's
lot. He
terrifying.
used to be a normal kid and then he just got like super weird. Like once we got to like high
Why
school.
would you, if you learned about this triangle and you lived anywhere near it, why would you want to stay? Because there's no way, I don't think there could be any way that you could live within it and not know about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
But
why
I
would
mean
you
I imagine it
stay?
must be hard to sell it. Like what realtor would even try to take that place to sell?
That's true, but not everybody in there's got to own it.
Yeah, you gotta find somebody to buy that house from afar that
Also, though,
doesn't know
there's
the
plenty of
lore.
people. I mean, somebody bought the Conjuring house, so there's gonna be people who will buy.
True. That is
People
true.
would buy it just to turn it into a spooky rental
I'm sure that they've made
for
their
the
money back
crazy
on that
people like
house.
us.
I'm sure I would.
Because tell me you wouldn't go rent a house just to go and see what the hell would happen, not to own it or stay there forever, like just to be there for a day, like an Airbnb.
Yeah, well, I mean, the Lizzie Borden house.
Ex
Heard
right.
it's the bread and breakfast haunted. I mean, people do. We get a lot of people that go there. Honestly, you believe it or not, to us
That's
that
what
seems like nothing, but they actually like have tours all the time. I see people out there,
I
and I'm like,
went there when I
people.
was I went there when I was 14,
It's
13, 14.
that's so funny.
I loved it. I loved it. But I grew up with my mom who she's from Boston and I mean like growing up where in Washington, people around here didn't even know about Lizzie Borden.
Oh,
So like we were excited that we actually got to go and um I grew up saying the rhyme and
I listen. As a child, I used to love that.
and we trust me, like I can totally understand like being from there, it not really having any sort of like being any big deal. Um, but just growing up with my mom specifically, I mean, she made every historic house that was in Boston or around Boston exciting. And like we had to go see this place. We have
Oh,
to
I
go see
love
this.
that.
Or like this is where the rhyme comes from. We can actually go to that house. So, and then when we went, they were telling us, oh, and we do seances on this day. And if you want, you could stay the night one night and this and that. And
You can miss me with a seance. No, thank you.
but like, and they had turned like the back shed into a gift shop. My aunt got me and my sister little hatchet earrings.
Oh my God, I can't believe they monetized off of that.
Oh yeah,
That's gonna
100%.
be a whole other episode because I've got
100%.
that. But now as an adult, it's giving. I'm realizing that like you know how like in the Friday the 13th movies, there's the spooky little one, two, Freddy's coming. So
Yep.
it's giving like the children of Fall River, the children of the corn, as I like to refer to us, like but the children of Fall River, like doing that, it was just so creepy, amazing. Like as an adult now, I hate when I hear kids doing that. I'm like, oh, stop. But like legit, when I was a kid, I used to do it all the time. But it is like a spooky thing, and
Do
there's
you
just
realize
so
how
much
many
about that house.
do you realize how many rhymes were fucked up that we had when we were growing up?
Oh, I'm sure.
In general?
Yeah. Oh, yes. Oh,
Pocket
yeah.
full
There
of
was that girl
posies?
on TikTok who ruined a lot of nursery rhymes for me.
Did you not know any of
And
that?
some of them I did not. Like,
Pocket full of posies?
oh, yep. Yes. The what that actually meant. I was like,
Oh yeah.
uh,
We were all doing it.
it's spooky. I'm telling you, it is super spooky. Do the deep dive. And there's like the Fall River Satanic Hall Murders. That's like a whole Prime special that you can watch on Amazon Prime too. They have literally there's a documentary about Fall River on there, and
There
it's spooky pants.
there is so for like upcoming episodes too. Like we're gonna be talking about like the Headless Horseman of Canton, which I'm excited to talk to you about.
Yes,
Because that one is yet again like it's a it's another one that hasn't been solved. There is some theories around it, and I mean you can kind of deductive reasoning. You can kind of there's just never been enough evidence type of thing.
there never is there? We're gonna have to like go to these places.
And one place that I really want to go to, and I don't know if you've heard of it, but maybe one day soon. Um, and soon I mean like the next couple years. Uh, I don't know when. There isn't a place that I've been wanting to go to for years, and I want to look into this place more. The Crescent Hotel in Arkansas.
I have heard of this. Yes.
It looks so creepy, and this hotel, it has so much history behind it. I mean, there are still like spirits haunting it from when it was built because like there's literally a ghost who he haunts specific rooms and he died while building the hotel because he was literally catcalling women and fell.
Oh my God.
Yeah, he was just a guy in his 20s and he fell and he died catcalling.
Oh God. So that's gonna be embarrassing. He's definitely he's definitely haunting that place.
And I mean they have like a room downstairs that they've left preserved. Um that like you can go and see on tour. There's a lot of places that we need to talk
Oh,
about.
haunted tours. I'm excited about that.
And the tour guide seems amazing.
I have not been to the Lizzie Borden house like inside since
Oh,
like I was like a kid. We went there
yeah.
like for out like in like elementary
I
school. We
want to
went
go
there on a field
back.
trip. It was like a designated thing that we had to go there. But we also went to like the Fall River Historical Society has like the hatchet and like has like actual items. They have the
Oh,
skull. They had like I'm not even kidding you. They have like the skull of
they
one
had
of
a
them.
skull?
Yes, the skull of one of them is like on display at like the Fall River Historical Society.
Why? Why? That's what I don't. Why?
Yeah,
That's weird.
yeah.
That's a little weird.
There's this like crypt inside of like Oak Grove Cemetery in Fall River too, where Lizzie Borden's grave is. There's a crypt
I think
over
I've been
there.
to her grave.
You have
I
been
think
or you
I've seen.
haven't?
I think I
Yeah.
have. Yep.
Yeah, they have like arrows on the ground that guide you there. I still somehow got lost. But
Yes, you
and I live
do.
here. I live in this freaking place. But there's like a crypt over there that you could like no longer see through like inside. But there was like these like coffins all like lined up inside at one point, and like people used to like break in there and stuff. But like now I don't know what's in there. But that was another spooky place,
Oh
and
my
like there's a
God.
lot of weird things in my area. So, but I haven't experienced any of them as an adult, and more understanding of like myself and my ability to process energy. So I'd be
Mhm.
interested to go to these places now and see if I feel anything, because
I
I'm
will
going
say,
based off of I was a child who didn't know what
right,
to look for, or
right. Hmm. I will say that like my experiences have been interesting. Um, like it seems so weird to say this now because like growing up, this was very normal. This was very normal. I didn't see anything like I thought this was normal for everybody. Um, and I mean, you pretty much read it in one of the short stories recently. Uh,
yeah.
was me and my sister and my mom, we really we just liked going to old graveyards. We liked going to old graveyards. We literally every trip we would take to go see my aunt or something, we would find an old graveyard. And if it was big, if it was if it was weird looking, if it was whatever, we'd find a graveyard and see what we could find.
Oh, I love that. That's
And
spooky.
we just liked graveyards. And I only knew that this was weird when I brought it up in casual conversation one day, and the person I was talking to looked at me and goes, do you know people buried in these graveyards?" And I was like, "No."
No, why would
I
that
was
need
like,
to be a
I
thing?
was like, "No, we just like." I was like, "No, we just like them," and they were like, "That's weird." I was like, "That's not a normal thing to do."
I beats me. I used to walk through the cemetery at night when I was young. But I also,
I
wanted to see if I could find a vampire, but we won't go there. I was trying to be all Buffy. I had a leather coat on and everything. That's a story for another day.
we've
It's so embarrassing.
I mean, I always after that I always thought it was weird. I always thought I was weird for just liking graveyards, and I would find different graveyards, and um it was just like we would just it was always like these historical ones, like me and my sister and some of my cousins, we just like they were always interesting or historic or just like, but the one thing I will say I've never had really is like any sort of encounter in a graveyard.
I mean, maybe like, I don't know, maybe
And
you're
I've
so spiritually in tuned that like you wouldn't. I mean, I have a feeling like in graveyards, I don't know. I rarely hear about haunted cemeteries. Believe it or not, where like that you would think that's the most haunted place ever.
you would you would think that, but I have heard because I always thought like we always me and my sister always thought that like that if we wanted to find just some random place to go, we'd go to a cemetery. Like we would go there and there had to be some sort of activity, right? But um but then I heard when I was looking into it more, um, it was less likely because obviously even the dead get bored with their own graves.
You know what though? Fair. Like, what are you
So
supposed
they're
to do
not
with the
going to just
tiny?
hang out at their own graves if they're walking around.
This is true. This is true.
Which
It's kind
makes
of like,
sense if there's like haunted places and houses and like and places to go, why would they be hanging out in a grave by themselves?
yeah, true.
Unless they're having like a graveyard party.
And I mean, it also, I feel like if, let's say, like some lore, how like wherever you died is where your spirit crosses over to, until like the end. You know what I mean? So like,
Hmm?
so say I die right here, right now. This is where I'm trapped. So whether my body's buried
Yeah, why would you be
wherever, I'm
buried?
not
Why
going to
would you
be
be
there.
Yeah, why would you go? Yeah. Yeah, why would you be hanging
So
out
you
with the
couldn't
dead
be there.
body?
But I feel like you could also be like an in tuned like a. I mean, cemeteries are usually a piece of a place of peace. So
Yeah.
like I will say I've heard of like not necessarily hauntings, but sightings at cemeteries and things like that. I'm
Yes.
sure there are
Yes.
spirits, but I don't think that any of them, if they're there, then that means they've accepted that they're dead. Which is like a
Oh,
sure
an
sign
interesting.
that they are not a
Hmm.
violent or entity because they're at peace. If they've accepted that they're dead
Well, and they're
into their
human.
with their body, I mean, true. There's so many different. I wish that one day we'll have the answers.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that's not until we're the ghosts, but
Right.
but it'll happen someday. It's inevitable. But I have always wondered that. But maybe you're saying that the point of all my big rant was that you feeling like a cemetery was a safe, comfortable place for you, like just something you liked to do. I don't know, that like makes me feel like you're spiritually attuned. And if my theory about like the spirits that are there being spirits at peace, maybe that's why you didn't have any encounters and felt that way, because it was the one place where you could feel peace, like, you know what I mean, like that's what you were drawing from the spirits there, if that makes sense.
No, it does. That's an interesting way of putting it. I do
My
like
mind
that
just
though.
worked crazy.
No, I like that. I like that theory though. I like that way of saying it though.
I would like to think that once you pass on, and if you stay earthbound, if that's something you decide to do, I believe that you have the choice. But if you decide to stay earthbound for however long until your people can come with you, I guess,
Hmm.
I believe that should be able to go anywhere. I don't see why they would have the constraints to one place, but we never know. There is lore that says like the place that you die is the place that you stay until Jesus calls you home, or whatever the lore says. So there's just
I
so
mean,
many different.
personally, I don't think that like I think there's a few different ways that things happen with when people pass and because like people there's been lot like energies that kind of like replay itself when something traumatic happens.
Yeah,
You
stuck
can
in a
kind
loop
of
kind of.
feel that like that replay the loop that people kind of get stuck in. Um, but I had I had one of the craziest things that happened for me was um this was it was actually right after my parents moved. So I was the last person in my family in Washington. My sister had moved, my parents had finally moved. They were all on the East Coast where my grandparents were, and my grandpa had passed away. And right after my parents moved, I started randomly seeing some shadow, like out of the corner of my eye. And it was like an actual shadow figure. Like it
Ooh.
looked like a person out of this
The
corner of your eye.
camera's doing that. I'm like,
I know.
it's not me, people. It's the camera.
But it was this shadow figure out of the corner of my eye. Freaked me out. It was happening for like a for months. It was like it would randomly be in my apartment. It would be places I went. It was just with me. Like it literally I was dog sitting for somebody and I was in their backyard and I thought somebody had gotten into their backyard because I saw it out of the corner of my eye and but as soon as I would look, it would it would disappear.
Ooh.
But it looked like the figure of a man. It was just this black, dark shadow figure of a man. And I had a planned trip to go to Connecticut where my grandma still lived. And I went there and it had been happening for a couple months or for months. And I I went on the trip and then when I was over there, I was telling my sister and my mom about it. And I was like, this has been happening for months. My mom's first question to me was, when you see it, have you been smoking? I was like, no, mom, I'm no.
I mean, valid question, Mom, but no, no.
And she's like,
Oh,
I'm
that's so
just
sweet.
asking. No, I haven't been smoking. It just shows up. But then when I got home, for like, it stopped happening. It stopped happening. And I told my mom, I said, I think Grandpa was following me, and I think I just brought him home.
Oh, I just came to the conclusion right before you said it. And oh my goodness. Like, what if that's how people travel, though? What if, like, spirits aren't tied to a
A
place but
place.
people? Like, what
Well,
if
you
their
know that they
bloodline
say
is,
mirrors, and people. Mirrors are portals, and then people get attachments, so they can cling on to people to travel.
oh my goodness.
And we had also just helped, like right before my parents moved, we had gone down to help them pack up the moving truck.
Oh my. I can only imagine.
So
That's
I'm wondering,
so
like,
insane.
he could have been around my mom and she just didn't notice. And then he just,
Good night. Oh, you brought him home. I love that. You did that. I absolutely love that you brought him home. That's so sweet. Oh my God. You shook me to my core just now. That's gonna stay with me.
yeah, I'll see you in the
Because like I
morning.
wonder like what if like hear me out. So like I have like a thing in my car with ashes for my husband and I've traveled to my places and I used to feel him. I felt like almost like I don't know, I just felt like he was closer than he is now. And I
Mm.
wonder if like he went to like with me on a trip and stayed with his sister and I just haven't seen her and what if he hasn't been able to get back to me since then? And you just got me thinking. That's wild. I so there's a really good medium in my area. I don't know if like while you're here you want to try to talk to her. I have her phone number. Her name is Cindy and she's a beast. When I tell you that she talks to my husband's friend and she started like saying all these crazy things and then she sent me like a recording because she had the smarts to record it and send it to me. So
Okay.
then she talked to my husband's mother and she was like, I would love to, I want to talk to my son, blah blah. And both readings, specifically the mother, like when she did the mother, she said that he was with her the whole day, like wait in anticipation for his mother and her to communicate so that he could communicate with her.
Hmm.
And but both times with his friend Janae and with his mother, a bunch of stuff about me came up. And now there's no way that this woman with no information whatsoever could
Yeah.
have come up with all the stuff that she came up with. I had just gotten a tattoo that I hadn't posted on social media, which is this one right here. I hadn't even posted yet. It was still healing. I wanted to wait till it was healed to show it off. And I was like also had other tattoos, so I really wanted like to finish shading in this before I started taking pictures of my arms. So
Hmm.
I didn't there was nobody that knew that I have that tattoo except for obviously Michael. And she said, who's Richie? Not Richard, like Richie. Who's Richie? I'm seeing something about a new tattoo with a song. It was from their wedding. I can see them dancing at their wedding. She was just saying the most crazy things that
I
I've
just got
never.
chills. Like literally my whole body just like
She
went
was
chills.
so legit, and like multiple times I've been told that Michael was placed into my path by my husband. Like he was the one who put us together. Like
Oh,
yeah,
oh,
there's
I
like
love that.
yeah, it's really sweet. Like, so we did like a medium party once, and Michael saw the medium first, and then he came out and he was like pale faced, but I didn't really like, get a chance to talk to him because it was my turn to go in because we were like going in one at a
Mm.
time, and it was like at
Oh,
my house. Yeah, so I set up my bedroom as like where the medium was set up with her table and the cards and all the stuff, and then once everybody was going in, closing the door so they would have privacy. And so it was my turn right after him. I go in and I sit down, and she instantly is like, oh, the same guy's still here. He's not leaving. I guess he must be here for you. You must be the husband. And I was like, what? And she told me that he had come through for for Michael just prior, and he was,
Uh,
giving Michael like his blessing, whatever, and telling him he could carry me and all this stuff, and like so that's why Michael was so like white faced.
oh my
And so
God.
when I went
I don't
in,
know if I can go see her.
it's
I
like
don't
she's
know.
legit. So I do warn you, I'm telling you this for with purpose because if you do see her, like she is
Like,
legit.
be
So if there's
prepared.
anybody you don't want to hear from or
I
the
don't know. That's the problem.
she was the real deal, but she told us, she told me that he knows that thing, and she's like, take it out. And I'm like, so I, at the time, the
You're
necklace that had his ashes before it was in my car was closer to, the first couple of years that I used to wear it around my neck. And I had our wedding ring on it as well. And so I had it in my shirt, tucked in. Okay. And so I was wearing a t shirt, it was tucked in, and I had like a flannel shirt buttoned up over it. So, like, I was just sitting there, and she's like, take it out. He wants to see it. And I was like, what? And she was like, you're the ring. And I was like, so I pulled it out, and she was like, he loves that you carry that, blah blah. Like, it was so freaky. Like, yeah, she was so freaky. But I just had to tell you that because I know since you're going to be in this area, like that
Oh
might be
my
somebody you might
God.
want to try to talk to. She was crazy, insane. Her name is Cindy.
I don't even know how to
I
process
can give
all
you her
of that.
number. She's
That's
something
insane.
else.
That is the actually like that's the first time I've heard of like an experience from anybody who's been so like that's insane.
Yeah. And the thing that bugs me, because again, you know how into the witchy stuff I am, and how
Hmm.
um I I'm a super spiritual person. I don't know what's going on with this camera.
It's
Um
trying to focus on you, that's all. Every time you shift, it's trying to focus. My parents does the same thing.
it's so crazy. Um it's I'm so in it's spiritually in tune. I'm in tune with
Hmm.
emotions, stuff like that. But again, like I wish that I could have had that conversation with him myself. You know what I mean? Like going through a middleman kind of sucks because it's like I couldn't feel him there. I couldn't tell he was there, but I knew. I mean, I had this
Get that.
overwhelming feeling that he was there only because the things that were being said to me were only it was only possible that he was there, and so that feeling gave me like the feeling of him being there, but I couldn't myself feel him, and it makes me wonder why I'm so closed off from that, and I wonder if it's to protect myself because I can tell you that when I was little, I I feel like I used to see spirits when I was young, because I don't
Mm.
remember anything specifically. That's only a theory, but there's a part of my childhood where I remember being very afraid of the nighttime.
Oh.
And I remember being, and it was my mom used to say it like I was just afraid like of nighttime coming because the people would come. And like so I wonder if
Oh, you
eventually
might
my
very
mind was
much be
like this
closed
kid's
off.
gonna die of a heart attack or like lose his mind and go crazy, so it just kind of like,
Oh.
and now I can't get that back up. I've wondered so long.
Oh.
There's so many things that I wonder about, and I want to look into speaking with people who are more um understanding of that kind of thing, and would know how would I go about, lifting that barrier if that is something I did when I was young, because maybe I did get scared. But
Have
my
you
aunt is
ever?
a very good medium. She's never seen my husband, which is like unfortunate, but because she would never lie. But she's a very good
Have,
medium too. She's always been spiritually in tune, and I just can't do it.
have you ever, instead of like trying to actually directly communicate, have you ever used any of like the actual like the equipment?
So I have not used a Ouija board.
No,
Um,
not a Ouija board, not a Ouija board, not a fucking Ouija board.
yeah, no, I don't fuck with Ouija boards.
No, I
I
mean
did use
like
a
I'm
pendulum once.
okay. Have you ever done did it work for you?
The pendulum, not really. Like it
Okay.
was definitely like pulling, but it wasn't making sense. And I'm like, I'm gonna say goodbye to this because I'm like, I don't know if that's some ancient Samoan language you're speaking to me, and if that's the case, you're a demon, so I'm good.
Yeah.
Like, so I don't play around with that.
I know how we need to end this actually, because one of the episodes coming up is going to be about Lizzie Borden. So before we do that, I need to know, do you think she did it?